All right, testing. All right, can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, can you please type in the chat section? Okay, just type that you guys can hear me, so I know that it is loud and clear. All right. Right, we got so many people. Ada 100 orang kat Zoom. Okay, so I think we can start now. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan selamat datang tuan-tuan dan puan-puan semua ke event yang sangat istimewa pada malam ini, iaitu Learn to Earn 2021, How to be a Millionaire in 7 years even as an employee. Bersama speaker kita pada malam ini, iaitu Tuan Faizul Ridzuan, the CEO of Far Capital Sendirian Berhad and author of WTF 23 Properties by 30. Event ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh ULEAD UNITEN's Leadership and Development Program. Jadi misi program kita pada malam ini ialah untuk membantu memberi exposure kepada mereka di luar sana untuk menambah baik skill mereka di alam pekerjaan, especially dalam bidang financial management. Jadi tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saya mengucapkan jutaan terima kasih dan tahniah kepada anda semua kerana sudi meluangkan masa pada malam ini untuk mempelajari sesuatu yang baru dan improve diri anda semua untuk menuju ke sasaran ataupun orang kata financial goal masing-masing. Bukan senang sebenarnya untuk kita mencari masa dan juga mencari program yang macam ni, especially yang free. Jadi anda semua memang bertuah kerana dapat ilmu pada malam ini daripada seorang CEO yang dia sendiri merupakan seorang jutawan yang mana pada masa sekarang dah ada dalam 60 biji rumah pelaburan. Jadi biasanya time-time macam ni kita rehat santai tengok TV, Netflix semua kan. Tapi saya memang kagum dengan anda semua kerana anda semua hadir pada malam ini dan anda semua memang ada ciri-ciri top 1% lah, memang terbaik lah you guys. Okay, jadi nama saya HAZIQ. Saya merupakan pelajar tahun 1 Course Mechanical Engineering di UNITEN dan saya akan menjadi moderator anda pada malam ini. Jadi stay tune sampai habis kerana kita akan adakan sedikit quiz ataupun trivia di hujung event ni, di mana anda boleh berpeluang untuk memenangi voucher untuk 5 pemenang yang bertuah pada malam ini. Jadi make sure korang catat segala ilmu yang dikongsikan pada malam ini. Dan di akhir event ni akan ada Q&A session and we will handle it in the Zoom meeting. Jadi untuk Q&A session kita akan buat di Zoom. Bermakna untuk mereka yang tonton di FB dan di YouTube live, make sure korang join the Zoom session so that you can join the event with better communication and also for the Q&A session. Alright. So yeah, if you want to join the Q&A, make sure you join the Zoom meeting by clicking the link, the link given. Alright, so sebelum kita mulakan sesi perkongsian kita pada malam ini, saya ingin pass kepada seorang alumni UNITEN untuk berkongsi sedikit tentang perjalanan beliau dalam bidang pekerjaan di mana beliau telah mengubah hidup beliau dengan adanya financial management skill. Oleh itu, saya mempersilakan Tuan HAZIQ ROSMAN untuk sesi perkongsian sebelum kita proceed kepada Tuan Faizul Ridzuan. Jadi dipersilakan Tuan HAZIQ ROSMAN.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good evening to all of you guys. Welcome to this webinar session. Sorry, last minute I can present senang cerita tu But I think I'm quite bad without slides, so I'm going to share you my slides right now. Okay. Can I share my screen, Jim?
Wait.
just to confirm, do you guys see my screen right now?
No, I don't see.
Okay. Sorry, Azim, boleh tak tolong pisangkan slide?
I think you can share the screen now.
Wait ya. I keluar and masuk balik.
Alright. Alright guys, sorry for the technical issue. Please be patient. Alright.
Okay guys, so just to be sure, do you guys can listen to my voice right now? Okay.
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to start with my slides. As you can see, nampak tak slide? My slide right now.
Nampak.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and very good evening to all of you guys. Sorry untuk apa issue technical tadi. So I'm going to present myself. My name is HAZIQ ROSMAN. I am a full-time employee, part-time investor, and also a part-time hustler, right? So I am one of the UNITEN alumni, which I graduated back in 2013. So today, the event is known as Learn to Earn by ULEAD 2021, right? So I graduated from UNITEN in 2013. I can consider I was received several awards. Contoh dalam gambar ni lah, Majlis Anugerah Kecemerlangan and etc. And after I graduated, I am employed by one of the GLC in Malaysia, and I've been serving to this company for almost 6 years. In the meantime, during the weekend, instead of me going to shopping and etc., I do a part-time hustler and also a part-time investor, considering I am a full-time employee. And up to date, I have several property, and it is growing from time to time. And the reason why I invested in several property is because I want to achieve my financial goal. And of course, I beli rumah ni dengan far capital lah, because the company provide a good grades of property that can yield me whether cash flow or a capital gain, right? So this is about me. So bila kita recap balik, right, back in 2008 and 2009, okay, macam korang nampak lah, this is my first time masuk UNITEN dekat Muazzam Shah, right? I was a student in Muazzam Shah back in 2010 until 2013. So during 2008 and 2009, as we know, there was a global financial crisis. Okay, and our main source of income, which is from my father's car workshop, is forced to close. Because satu, my dad tak ada cash flow yang bagus untuk sustain dia punya business, and tak boleh nak bayar pekerja punya gaji. So it forcing him to close his workshop. And plus bila main income tu dah tak ada, of course lah, rumah pun macam nak bayar, and also kereta pun macam nak bayar, betul tak? And whereas my mom is serving as a cikgu sekolah rendah dekat Keluang, Johor. To be honest, during this time, 2008 and 2009, it was the worst time for us as a family, right? Rumah nak kena lelong, kereta nak kena tarik, and etc. And until to that extent that my family was so desperate that they had to borrow money from Along in order to survive. And there was time for us need to eat the rice with only a soy sauce, right? Sebab tak ada duit nak beli lauk and etc. And to make it worse, my mom was sick. She doesn't have a kidney. Both kidney was removed because dia ada sejarah penyakit keluarga. and it kind of make me depressed sebenarnya. Okay, so we suffered for several years. I can say 2 years lah, between 2007 until 2009. And this was the worst time of our life. I can sense because masa tu ilmu business my family tak ada, and we don't have a good financial literacy, right? So after I graduated from UNITEN, as you guys know, I graduated in 2013. So in 2014 and 2018, I was employed by one of the GLC. I do a full time. But macam korang tahulah, masa tu I pun ada sedikit lah financial literacy. I know that buying a car is a bad debt. Buying a new bike is a bad debt, right? So I sustain with my old car, kereta second hand, Satra New, which I use during my study time. To be honest, masa I asal Johor, and bila I kena kerja kat KL, dia agak struggle lah, because the living cost in here is very high, right? So you faham lah, bila kereta lama ni, you need to fork up some money because it's not really reliable. So towards the end of the month ataupun pertengahan bulan tu mesti akan sangkutnya sebab kereta rosak, and I need to bayar banyak untuk cost repair and maintenance. Okay. So bila I kerja tu, I sense that okay, I do have several macam masa lapang. So I think okay, why don't I join modeling, because I nak create my own audience, right? Maknanya ada follower and etc. And in the meantime, in order for me to polish my selling skill, I start to sell insurance as my hasil income. And during that time, I bought several cheap, medium apartments, and they are just doing okay. It's not really that well, but okay. Because I need to, I kena maintain tenant yang not really professional. So it's quite hard for me because I'm a full-time employee, and benda tu somehow rather dia menjadi beban lah. Kadang-kadang ada rumah tu kosong for several months, and I kena fork up my money. And masa tu I terfikir, okay, if I want to go for promotion in this company, why don't I start pursue my MBA? So I pursue my MBA for 2 years. I use my Career SP punya duit, and I completely graduate in 2018. But even though I dah dapat the MBA and etc., I always short of cash flow. Okay, every month pertengahan bulan mesti duit macam tak cukup. Terpaksa puasa lah and etc. The struggle is real, right? So I dah buat, I dah took my MBA, okay, I dah try hustle in term of insurance modeling etc. Still I tak boleh cover my cost of living. And to be honest, masa I duduk kat KL, I tak duduk apartment, kondo, I duduk rumah kedai. Sampai ada kawan I condemn I sebab I duduk rumah kedai dekat KL. So it's not really convenient for me to stay lah, okay. So last year, as we know, in pandemic COVID-19, I was thinking, okay, this is the best time for me because I stay at home, I tak spend duit banyak sangat, and eventually I think I want to take this opportunity lah untuk belajar, okay. So during that time, masa tu Faizul Ridzuan, which is my property mentor, dia buat satu public group free, right? Dia ajar pasal investment punya, property investment punya data and also method. So I joined the class, and I realized one thing, as compared to my previous mentor sebelum ni in property and others, I realized bila Faizul cakap pasal property investment ni, he highlighting this one thing which is I tak pernah nampak dekat mentor-mentor yang lain, which is data, right? Bila dia want to invest ataupun dia propose to us to invest in property, he present it with data, not by gut feeling, but with data. So I can see this is a legit, and dia based on the research. Dia punya statement is not deeper buat-buat. Okay. So masa I nak join FACAP ni, I was fikir, okay, so aku nak join ni, what should I do? So I decided to make a personal loan to join the FACAP. So masa tu isteri I dah mengandung and etc. Sorry, I dah kahwin. Isteri I dah start mengandung and I need some money, right? So I join FACAP, I buat personal loan, and I macam okay, aku buat je. And I joined FACAP in 2020 during March, end of March, lepas my birthday. Okay. And Alhamdulillah, after I joined, I managed to restructure my debt very well. And the personal loan yang I buat sebelum ni, and with the tips from the team and the environment, eventually I managed to reduce my debt. And of course, currently I have satu big bad debt, which is from my family punya history dulu, which I tengah nak settlekan this year. And insyaAllah, within the 2021 and 2023, I will start to invest in 3 good investment grade lah. Okay. And bila dah join FACAP ni juga, I perasan I get the knowledge for free and also a lifetime support. Together mingling with great people yang you tak pernah imagine yang you akan berjumpa, right? Macam contoh Dr. Adam Zubair, Christina and others. Okay. And Alhamdulillah, I made my 20,000 within 3 months joining FACAP with the HAZIQ income initiative yang they provide. And in the meantime, I managed to, kerja with a good KPI and etc. While my free time, I do my HAZIQ income lah, making a 20,000 within 3 months, which is okay lah to me, a personal bonus for me, right? And then lastly, I managed to settle all my debts, which I mentioned earlier. And alhamdulillah, I can increase my loan eligibility, which enable me to buy more properties for my financial goal setting, right? So from these 3 different timelines, right, what are the differences? Based on korang tengok masa 2008, 2009, 2014 sampai 2018, and also current, which is 2020 and 2021. Because those 3 different timelines, they have their own crisis and etc. Which apa yang membuatkan dia berbeza adalah by choosing the right mentor. A good mentor is like a highway to success. Itu yang saya selalu pegang. No matter kalau you ada ilmu pun, if no one is going to guide you or tegur you waktu you tersilap langkah whatsoever, eventually you will tersasar jauh lah, right? So that is the difference in 2020 and 2021. Okay, and maybe korang terfikir, kenapa ramai orang kau pilih Faizul? Okay, of course, first thing first, macam I mention tadi, Faizul ni sebenarnya cerita dia underdog lah, dia bukannya anak orang kaya. Tiba-tiba lahir terus bawa Lambo apa semua. He's not. Dia adalah budak Sentul and family dia punya situasi is more or less the same like me. So I can relate, right? So dia pun start kerja daripada gaji RM800 hingga gaji RM16,000. And so you can see the leap of a career yang dia buat with the soft skills yang dia develop throughout the time. And of course, right now dia pun dah berhenti kerja, dia ada 60 property dalam portfolio dia, and dia ada business which employed almost 60% and right now driving a Porsche lah. Okay, so he has a proven outcome. Second is property investment with data. Ini I ada mention tadi. So when you want to invest in property, it's not about gut feeling ataupun based on pemandangan kasar you. You must understand what are the 7 criteria in property investment. So bila you dah follow the 7 criteria of choosing the right property, eventually you will be safe, right? So that's 2. And third, is a comprehensive property investment ecosystem. Okay, the ecosystem making my investment journey more easier, especially in property. I a full-time employee, I don't have a time to entertain my tenant during midnight gaduh sebab bilik sebelah buat bising whatsoever. I don't have time for that, and I don't have time untuk pantau renovation, dah siap ke belum, bila rumah tu dapat kunci or not. So with Faizul and dia punya team, eventually they making the property investment journey more easier, and I can generate my money more lah. Misalnya kita my dividend lah, monthly dividend from my property. Right, I dah beli property yang bagus, I dapat the cash flow, I dapat the capital gain, and also dah ada orang manage. Even though nanti I kena migrate to UK pun, I don't need to worry because someone is going to manage my property very well. And of course, with the lifetime membership, together with hustle income opportunity, I think why not? Because my modal yang sebelum ni, I dah boleh cover my loan and other loan. So you imagine kalau I buat betul-betul lagi, right? Maknanya I fokus betul-betul and I start to ikutlah apa yang Faizul ajar. Okay? So let's say lah, kalau contoh I sekarang ni tengah debt restructuring, okay, maybe korang tak nampak sangat dia significant, right? So sebab benda tu dia macam I je tahu. Dia based on the secret report. Secret report tu bank negara punya report berdasarkan loan I. Okay? So these two, Ikhwan Sulaiman and also Syariman Abdul Aziz. These two are UNITEN Bangi punya alumni. Okay? So Ikhwan Sulaiman ni, right, dia kerjasama dengan company dengan I. He's not even a GM, general manager tau. Okay, dia ada 13 property and dia drive Merc every day pergi kerja. You bayangkan GM dia tak pakai MERS, and how can this guy boleh pakai MERS? So GM dia pun jealous, dia pun beli MERS juga. Ikhwan ni lagi lama lah. I think Ikhwan dah join since 2013 or 2014, right? So another one is Syariman Abdul Aziz. This guy is also UNITEN Bangi punya alumni. He's working in engineer in one of the company, highway, if I'm not mistaken. So this guy, dia beli rumah. Dia dah beli rumah pada rumah yang apa? Pada loan yang ketiga. Maknanya loan rumah yang ketiga, which sepatutnya you kena keluarkan 30% modal. But guess what? When he join Faket, dia beli rumah, dia dibayar untuk beli rumah. And duit yang dia dibayar tu, dia settlekan hutang-hutang jahat dia. Macam contoh hutang kereta, hutang PTPTN and hutang-hutang yang lain. So literally dia sebenarnya dah senang kepala lah, dah tak payah pening. And rumah tu pun tenant dia yang bayar. So how good or how great is that, right? So to conclude, lack of financial literacy will eventually make you struggle. Macam contoh, my family, I don't blame my dad lah, okay? Sebab dia pun dulu daripada golongan susah, so dia berani untuk start the business. So that is one thing that I salute. But eventually, if you don't have a financial literacy, no matter gaji you banyak macam mana pun, right? Contoh gaji you gaji you 5,000 as a starting, kalau you tak manage your property, tak manage you punya cash flow betul-betul, eventually you will suffer and struggle and always dihantui dengan hutang-hutang yang jahat, right? So that's the reason why we would like to expose with you guys right now or tonight with this kind of knowledge, so that later korang takkan hadap benda yang sama apa yang I hadapi dulu ataupun apa yang ayah I hadapi dulu ataupun orang-orang yang lain yang hadapi. I mean, why would you need to endure the struggle whereas you can learn from someone else and eventually you can belajar and elakkan daripada benda-benda tu berlaku and achieve your financial goal early. I wish I met Faizul earlier lah, macam contoh apa yang Ikuan jumpa tu, so I can improve my financial literacy well and I boleh beli beberapa rumah lah. Sekarang ni pun I rasa tak cukup lagi. InsyaAllah soon I can strike satu property which can give me a free car lah, okay? And lastly is to invest in knowledge and a good mentor. To be honest, if you got a 4 flat in every semester, it doesn't determine that you are going to be rich, right? Most of the students out there fikir bila dapat 4 flat, macam I dulu lah, okay, dapat 4 flat, I will be rich, I will get the gaji 10,000, which is not. Set, and you need to have a financial literacy, equipped with a financial literacy, right? So you grow the money from your punya gaji tu, you grow into a passive income. Kalau you rajin, you boleh buat hasil income macam apa yang buat. So in order for you to achieve your financial goal, invest in knowledge and also a good mentor. The question here right now, okay, most of you guys are student, ada yang staff UNITEN and ada juga yang dah bekerja dalam industri. How many of you guys would like to move from average of 99% of population into a top 1%, right? So let's say kalau you dah capai financial freedom, literally you dah capai the 1% punya status lah, okay? So you kena tanya diri you sendiri balik. So how am I going to do this, right? Kadang ada orang dia berkira nak invest in ilmu, dia berkira nak invest dalam sesuatu yang boleh develop himself, but dia tak kisah kalau dia boleh spend on iPhone, new iPhone. So itu yang kita perlu faham, the priority in your life. If you want to stay in 99%, then up to you lah, right? So this is the best quote from my another mentor lah. Kita mentor kena banyak kan. So property is Faizul, Warren Buffett is more on towards general investment macam stock. Pak Warren Buffett ni pernah cakap, the best investment you can make is to invest in yourself, right? The more you learn, the more you can earn. That's the truth, right? I mean, certificate is good. It's more or less like a license for you to get a job. But eventually, additional knowledge that will make you move forward in your financial punya process. So, I think that's all from me. I hope you guys have a very good input from my presentation. And I think I give back to Hazim.
All right, so thank you Tuan HAZIQ ROSMAN for the sharing session for his journey of becoming more financial literate with the correct mentor. Alright, so for the next session, kita akan invite Tuan Faizul Ridzuan untuk share his secret of becoming a millionaire in 7 years, even as an employee. So for that, I invite Tuan Faizul Ridzuan to for the sharing session.
Hi. Assalamualaikum semua. A very good evening. Thank you Hazim, thank you HAZIQ. Nama pun dah lebih kurang sama korang ni. I think truth to be told, even though I dah kenal HAZIQ like about 1 year, I don't even know the full story of his struggle, to be honest. I ingatkan dia macam budak-budak kaya je kan. So tak sangka kita orang ni lebih kurang sama. So I think before we straight away go to the session of how do I get from 600 to 800,000 18,000 punya gaji, right, in the space of 7 years. So I also think I want to share a little bit about how I started. And there's a reason kenapa when a university call me to speak, I will normally very happy to go and make time to go and share. And the reason here is because when I was in University Malaya and I was studying my last semester, so as you know already, I'm not rich, so I kerja kat Starbucks throughout my uni punya life. So habis je kuliah pergi Starbucks kerja sampai tengah malam. Berapa kali I tertidur atas motor sampai accident pun ada sebab penat sangat kan. So pagi kuliah, lepas tu tengah hari dan ataupun petang tu dah kena pergi kerja kan. And I was there 4 tahun setengah dekat University Malaya. So the reason why I don't mind sharing, I really love sharing, is because of one person who shared, my lecturer, who shared this ilmu to me, I become the person that I am seperti. My lecturer nama dia arwah Puan Fazila. She passed away because of cancer a couple of years ago. So if you are Muslim, please sedekahkan al-Fatihah for her. And I was in my last semester dekat university, and we were forced to take elective program. I was a software engineer, right? And I was forced to take elective program, so I took this course called Financial Planning 101, right? So this lecturer throughout the semester tu keep on bagi tahu dekat student dia, termasuklah I ni kan, ada beratus orang ni, cakap, guys, lepas dah graduate tolong jangan beli kereta, beli rumah dulu, right? Tolong jangan beli kereta, beli rumah dulu. Oh, this is arwah punya pesanan to us, right? And then one day, one girl have got the guts to go and ask her, "What, you always ask us to go and buy property, tapi actually how many property do you have?" Kan, sebab you asyik suruh kita beli property ni. So this lecturer of mine, arwah Fazila, at that point of time, dia tengok kita orang sekejap kan, and then dia cakap, "We have bought more than 20 properties." Okay, so for me, at that point of time, it was macam a light bulb moment, macam, huh? Because as a lecturer, you are normally quite comfortable, gaji pun okay. I mean, you're definitely not poor, you're definitely middle class, T20 kan. So why would you buy property banyak-banyak kan? So macam kita orang semua macam tercengang terdiam. And then they explain, right? Every time saya nampak property yang bagus untuk dibeli, I akan beli 2 atau 3 biji. Lepas tu bila rumah tu siap tu, harga dia naik 30,000, 50,000, dia jual satu. And simpan lagi satu ataupun simpan lagi 2. So kalau dia beli 3, dia akan jual 1, simpan 2. Dia beli 2, jual 1, simpan 1 lah, right? So the profit yang dia dapat buat tu daripada keuntungan tu 30-40 ribu tu, so what she did here is that she use it to buy experience dengan anak dia. So basically they always go to family holiday. So anak-anak dia ni waktu kecil-kecil ni dah very well travelled, dah pergi Disneyland, US dan apa semua tu. So they've gone to all the continents. And the reason why they can do that is because they actually travel for free, because they guna hasil keuntungan daripada pelaburan tanah dia tu to then fund family holidays yang mahal-mahal ni. So macam kita pergi Langkawi tu dah kira dah best kan. Diorang ni pergi Disneyland, right? So every year dia akan pergi travel overseas, and because anak 4 orang, husband and wife, so travelling is not going to be so cheap lah. And of course, as you know, she already passed on, arwah already meninggal almost 10 years ago. And I can say I am very close to the family, right? Anak dia semua I kenal. Dia orang buat internship at my firm. When I travel to London, I go and stay to the elders' house, so we are that close, right? And until today, they really remember their mum fondly. So I would say, guys, bila you ada duit banyak-banyak ni, sometimes it's not about money. Sometimes it's really about what are you going to do with the money. In the case of my mentor, arwah Fazila, she uses property to fund family punya experience, right? Dia bayarkan family punya experience. So I think it's quite a meaningful punya goal, right? So I want you to think, kadang-kadang you bukan you nak kaya because you nak kaya kan, you nak bawa Lambo ke apa, you want to kaya because you want to spend time with your parents, aging parents, you want to spend time with your family, and to me that's the beauty of being able to ada kemampuan tu buat benda ni. So similar to HAZIQ, 97, 98, my family lost everything, right? In the recession, Asia financial crisis. 2008, 2009, I bought a lot of property. I dah start kerja, dah ada financial literacy, I dah ada ilmu sikit, I invest a lot property. I made my first 5 million from that crisis, right? So I want to set the context supaya you guys faham kenapa kita nak buat benda ni, right? So first and foremost, I want to give back, and this is my way of giving back lah, sharing ilmu, right? So I nak sampaikan apa yang Arwah Fazilah dah sampaikan I waktu student dulu. I'm hoping that a lot of you student yang tengah watching tonight ni, you take the cue lah. Bila dah graduate tu nanti first and foremost jangan beli kereta dulu, kalau boleh beli rumah dulu, right? So that's point number one, right? Point number two here is that kita ada economic crisis today, and this is especially for those who are adult and dah kerja, maybe working as a lecturer today, or parent watching this. The first crisis I had, kita orang lose everything. The second crisis, I made my first 5 million. So every time there's a crisis, there's always going to be an opportunity, guys. So similar to this particular crisis, kita ada recession. I also think there's an opportunity coming. So I think if you listen carefully to apa yang I nak sampaikan in the recording sekejap lagi, right? For the next 1 hour, 20 minutes or so, I will be able to prove to you, number one, how do I went from 600 to 18,000 punya gaji. And how do I build my first 1 million punya property portfolio all the way to 5 million, and why do I think this current crisis ni will give birth to the next property bull run. And of course, kalau you position yourself properly to own a couple of property hopefully this year, you'll be able to do what I did 10 years ago. Okay, so I think there's something in it for everyone. For the students, you can see daripada 600 gaji all the way to 18,000 dalam masa 7-8 tahun je. So you will learn my tips and my tricks, and I hope you will take advantage. Dah tahu benda yang I ajar ni. For those who are already working, I sincerely hope that we have a crisis here today. That would also mean we will most likely have a property bull run coming. So with that, I think for those who are brave enough to take advantage of the current crisis and position yourself well during the next property bull run ni, last time I made 5 million. I'm hoping that you guys at least make 500,000 to about 1 million. Right, so with that, I think Kisena, I think we can go ahead and we can start the video, and look forward to answering all your questions. Nanti kalau you ada anything question you want to ask me ataupun HAZIQ, nanti waktu Q&A 1 hour from now.
Okay, let's share the video now.
Alright, so enjoy guys. Hopefully belajar betul, and make sure you have pen and paper, and you tulis lah banyak nota. A lot of ilmu berharga I think we will share malam ni.
Okay, just to recap, to make sure that the internet is not glitched, I'm going to present a 3 set different of videos. Number one is the ASB. Number one is the employee, and then we're going to share about property bull run, and after that we're going to share the strategies of 2021, which is the client introductions. Okay.
Now, so this is basically my journey as an employee, right? And I started as a 600 ringgit junior programmer at this company called Warner Station. It's a local software company that is a government contract, basically, right? Syarikat Bumi Putra, and at a point of time, there was not a lot of jobs because when I graduated, it's 2003. That was aftermath of 98-99 year recession, and Tun baru bersara waktu tu, and I can recall clearly. There wasn't a lot of jobs going around, right? And which is why I think bila a couple of years ago people buat hashtag rindu zaman Tun, and I clearly disagree, because I didn't miss zaman Tun. There was no jobs, and the jobs available, gaji pun macam betul-betul lah. My slides is in English, so I'm going to speak in bahasa so that kita boleh maximize juga yang boleh belajar, right? So I started as a programmer at gaji 600. There's a job available for me. I got 2 job offers. Satu 1,500 kerja dengan Bara, and the other one 600 kerja as a junior programmer. I picked the one for 600 too because I wanted to learn this language called C++. Because I believe over time, my mastery of this programming language called C++ will allow me to be paid more later compared to I joined Mara as a graphic designer, right? So my friends told me that I'm stupid, kenapa ambil gaji kerja 600 instead of gaji 1,500, I wanted to learn first, right? And I believe that once I dah faham language too, I will be paid more later. And true enough, right? 9 bulan je lepas kerja sebagai junior programmer tu, I got offered as a software engineer, right? At Green Packet at that point of time. Sekarang ni today is called P1, right? And dekat, MSC Bukit Jalil, right? And at that point of time, gaji dapat naik pergi 2003. So from 600 to become 2003 in just a space of 1 year. Tak sampai pun 1 year, right? But at that point of time, guys, I read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that book basically changed my life because that book basically says if you want to be rich, you tak boleh jadi employee, you kena jadi investor ataupun business owner. So I bergelumpur lah kan, alamak, I don't want to be poor, I want to be rich, right? So, but to be an investor ataupun business owner, you kena ada modal. So duit tak ada. So dia cakap, if you tak ada duit tak apa, you belajar this thing called sales skill dulu. So I 3 bulan je lepas dapat gaji 2003 tu, I berhenti kerja, guys, right? With a 2 weeks punya notice, and cakap, I don't want to waste my life to kerja, buat kerja yang orang cakap tak ada masa depan lah. So I kena brainwash dalam buku tu kan. So pergilah berhenti kerja tu jadi salesman tepi jalan, jual credit card. My dad was so angry at me because I basically throw away my degree kan, and daripada UM to become orang yang SPM boleh buat, right? Jual credit card tepi jalan. But I wanted to learn sales skill because the book basically say kalau you nak jadi entrepreneur, you must know how to sell. Okay, so I pergilah. So and then and that's what I did, and I was orang cakap that's the biggest jump in my life. Daripada gaji 23 tak ada gaji, so you jual property, you jual credit card tu based on commission, and kalau you dapat jual credit card, you dapat makan bulan tu. Kalau you tak dapat jual, you tak dapat makan lah, right? Then about a few months later, I got offered as a management trainee. I dah belajar sales skill, I dah improve my English greatly, right? And then I dapat job offer dekat Standard Chartered as a management trainee. I'm thinking, this fixed salary can be quite good. On top of that, I masuk bank, I dapat learn financial product and investment juga, right? So therefore, I accepted the offer and become a management trainee. After 1 year become management trainee, I dapat promotion to become a manager, project manager. At that point of time, I bought my first property as a management trainee. And then by the time I was 27, I dah beli 3 biji property as a product manager. Then I went to an interview with this company called Western Union Untitled because they're hiring an area business development punya specialist. So again, you jaga sales people pula lepas tu kan. So dulu belajar jual dan belajar produk dan jaga sales people pula kan. So I'm thinking, this could be interesting sebab kalau I ambil kerja ni, right, I know how to lead people. I will now be trained how to lead people, right? So I took up the offer, and because I berani berhenti kerja, tukar pada software engineer to become credit card tepi jalan, the guy was so impressed, the people who was hiring me so impressed, and they decided to do whatever it takes to hire me. So I got an offer from Citibank at that point of time, and Western Union, dia nak sangat, and they decided to triple my salary daripada 3,000 tu kepada 9,300. Right, that was my starting salary, and that was only about 38 kalau tak silap, right? And that's the year basically I got married. At that point of time, it's also a crisis year. I beli 5-6 property. Next year, I got promotion from a specialist to become a manager. Naik pergi 9,000 at 29. I bought a lot more property, and before I was 30, I dapat beli sampai 23 biji. Alright. And the next couple of years, I still dapat naik gaji even though tak naik pangkat. Sebab I tak nak naik pangkat, I decided to reject 2 kali job promotion atas sebab tertentu. I malas kan nak bertanggungjawab besar, tapi nak bertanggungjawab naik 200% tapi gaji naik 30%, so to me tak berbaloi lah. And I was making so much money from property at that point of time. I could say, I would rather have a lot more free time compared to ambil gaji 2,000, 3,000 extra ni tapi I don't have time, right? So that was my employment story, right? So daripada junior programmer at 600 all the way to 18,000 as a business development manager for an MNC. right? So guys, I would say if I were to summarize my working career and my 5 key things that basically made a difference for me, which I hope kalau if I share with you tonight, it will also be able to make a difference to you. Basically, the first one here is that it's communication skills, right? So I think, right, one of the best decision I buat was to actually buat my degree is to become a credit card assessment tepi jalan, because why? My emotional intelligence naik gila babi power, right? Because dah mula sabar, dah boleh empathy, boleh connect dengan orang, boleh build rapport dengan orang, and my English and my communication skill went improved by a lot in that 9 months saya kerja, right, as a credit card salesperson, right? It went improved by a lot to the point whereby since I ambil kerja credit card ni guys, I've never attend a job interview yang I tak dapat peluang kerja. So that means whatever job interview I went, I should dapat. So guys, all I can say here is that whether you like it or not, right? If you can do the job, your friend can do the job, but your friend can communicate better, he will get the job or he will get the promotion. Unfortunately, your boss cannot promote someone who cannot communicate well. Right? It's as simple as that, right? Because if you want to be a leader and you want to be paid 18,000, then you must be a leader ataupun you must be in a senior position, right? And it's very hard for people to promote someone who cannot lead or communicate properly. And here's the worst part, guys. There's a lot of people who are very hardworking. Betul ke tak? I'm sure a lot of you are very hardworking. Tapi if you can't communicate well, people might misunderstood you and people might even dislike you. So that's the worst, right? So like I said, if you are a poor communicator and if you are very, very poor about selling yourself, it's very hard for you to advance versus someone who basically have the same skill set as you, just as capable, tapi dia lebih pandai cakap, lebih pandai communicate, better communicator, right? They can lead the team better because they are better communicator. So I think that's the first bit, right? So I quit my job as a software engineer sebab my English wasn't good and I become a credit card salesman, and that basically helped improve my English and my communication skills and my empathy, my relatability greatly. Because selling is very, very, very difficult, right? So today my advice to you, if you are a young grad today and you want to be paid the big bucks, you must be able to pick up the skill of selling and communication skills. Right, so that's the first punya tip, right? Now, the second punya tip is basically a mentality ataupun mindset called the be, do, have, right? So here's what 99% of the people is doing. If you pay me more, kau bayar kerja lebih, aku akan buat kerja tu, right? But here's the top 1% punya mentality. The top 1%, aku buat dulu, and then you have no choice but to pay me what I deserve. Right, guys? So guys, you can choose to become the 99% of the people yang whereby mentality dia is that aku kan buat lebih bila kau bayar aku lebih. Right? That's 99% of the employees. But if you buat dulu, right, with that mentality, aku buat dulu and eventually I'm going to be paid more. Okay, then you belong to the 1%. And those are very rare employees, young bosses like me today, who will never want to lose, right? Now, I think the best way to describe this is that the person who does more than what he's paid today will eventually be paid more than what he does. Okay, this is a fact of life, guys. Okay, you can ask any of my successful clients today, people like Dr. Irfan and apa who did hustle, gila kan. We all did more dulu. Now today we are being paid more than what we do. Okay, this is a fact of life. Okay, so I have employees yang datang gaji 1,600, right? And within 2 years, we naikkan gaji to almost 10,000. From 1,600 to almost 10,000 in just 2 years kat paket. And why? They have be do have. And of course ada juga employee yang dulu masuk 2,000 and sampai dah lepas 3-4 tahun tu, dia masih gaji dia 2,000. Kenapa? I need to have, baru aku nak buat, baru aku want to become the person. So dia terbalik. So if I'm a boss today and I'm looking to promote someone, I will not promote the have to be mentality of employee. I will only promote and train the be do have. Okay. Now, the third one right, is basically continuous punya learning. So as an employee, guys, there's no such thing as you faham semua benda. If you watch trends and apa semua tu, there's this thing called continuous learning yang you kena buat, right? Because if you don't improve as an employee and you cannot add value to the company, then you're not going to be more valuable next year. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter what you do, whether you're a doctor ataupun engineer ataupun pharmacist and apa semua tu. The day that you stop learning, that will be the day that you will stop earning the above average income. Okay. So for me, right, as an employee today, what can I do? I've got people who volunteer to go for these classes because they think, it will help them do better in the job. And we are more than happy to pay, right, for our employees. So that's the third thing, guys. This idea of continuous learning. I'm going to talk about Elon Musk today. This guy is a notorious learner. This guy pernah dalam interview, and the guy he interviewed ni anak kepada farmer, peladang, right? And he was talking for 1 hour, half an hour, just really curious to tanya, pokok ni kenapa cycle dia 4 bulan, kenapa 5 bulan, kenapa 6 bulan. He wanted to know. And this is a guy who is a billionaire today. He doesn't have to know, but he wants to know. And that is the difference between successful employees dengan losers. Right? Losers think they know everything. That's the truth. Yeah? Now, number 4 ni is a bit odd, but I can tell you the psychology, right? As an employee, right, you must always have a backup of income. So of course, the obvious one is that kalau you kena buang, then how, right? So then naturally you want to have backup income. But I can tell you from my experience, if you don't kejar promotion ataupun gaji setiap tahun, lagi benda tu datang, tu yang pelik tu. As an employee, it is very, very weird. Okay. Now, so the first one here is that for most bosses, right, they want to keep smart people, right? Hardworking is one, but they prefer smart people because smart people will know how to figure things out faster compared to hardworking people. Okay, now I can tell you my honest conversation with my ex-boss at Western Union too, 3 months before he was fired, and he told me, right, he said, Faizul, I admire your smarts, if I were to do again my life 10 years ago, like you, I will buy a lot of properties. This guy is not even Malaysian. He's an Indian national, nama dia Anand, right? And of course, 3 months later, he got fired, right? Because of office politics, right? So here's the thing: when you deem as smart, guys, people want to keep you even though you're not the best performer. Okay, so that's the reality, right? Because boss likes smart people. Kalau you smart and hardworking, is a big bonus. But if you are smart, between choosing to smart and hardworking, I would rather choose smart. Right? People who can do the job at half of the time, right? Now, number 2 here is that when you don't care, right, about being politically correct at office, you can always freely speak up your mind. You have some colleague who hari-hari butter bos kan, actually bangang je buat kerja kan, tapi hari-hari kerja dia butter je, bos dia kipas je, bos dia kan. And this guy basically, they think by doing that they can do. But the reality here is that when you are a boss, right, everyone will butter up with you, and you don't care, right? But I respect employees more who can speak up your mind and say, Faizul, you are wrong. Right? Because these employees are rare. Everyone will butter up your bosses, for sure. But the guy who can tell you, boss, you are wrong, and this is the reason why I think you are wrong, is now, when you have backup, guys, you are not afraid to speaking up. Now, if your boss is smart, they will keep you. I have a friend who makes 50,000 per month today, and he's being paid 50,000 per month, not because he's the most hardworking. He's lazier than everyone else in that company, right? Oil and gas. Tapi he always speak up his mind, and that's the reason why his bosses always kept him. Today, country director. Balik pukul 5 petang, guys. Okay, gaji 50,000 sebulan, umur dia 1 year younger than me. I'm 24. You can tell from my face. No, I'm 39. Right, so I'm quite old already. So he's like about 38, right? So when you have source of income, other source of income, then you are a little bit more secure and you don't care so much about being politically correct, and that allows you to speak up your mind. Lepas tu, the third one here is that you make better decisions on behalf of the company in your job. So you tak ambil rasuah because you have enough. right? You are not going to be paid to say nice things about, you know, a shit when you're a vendor because you have enough, right? You can do your job properly. A lot of people buat rasuah because they don't make enough, right? Now, number part here is that you can choose your time or money, which one is worth more. For me, my time is worth a lot more. So therefore, I decline promotion twice because I know if I take up the promotion, I get paid 20% more, but my responsibility go up by 100 to 200% more. The time that I use at work, instead of 4 or 5 hours per day, now goes up by 8 to 10 hours per day. And I don't even have weekends. So if my boss want to transfer me, I can decline. They really cannot bully me, you see. And that's the benefit of when you have backup like this. And ironically, to say I was the best performing employee in my company in the last 3 years of my employment, right? The first 2 years too, I was okay, good. Last 3 years too, I macam dah malas sikit lah, right? Because, you know, I've already thought that I want to resign and apa semua tu. Ironically, I still offered a salary increase, right? And even when I resigned too, and after that, I thought I couldn't perform at what is minimally required for me to keep my job. When I offered to resign, I kena pujuk 2 kali dengan my ex-boss sampai dia punya boss kepada boss dia datang daripada Hong Kong to cakap tanya dengan I, why am I resigning, kenapa? Right, and I told her I made good money from property investment. I made a couple of million, and this job no longer makes me happy. And I want to pursue a career in business. Right. So ironically, you know, the more that you don't chase money because you are secure financially, the more it comes to you. I mean, that is what happened to me like this. Okay. So, and then last kali, which I think is one of the most important thing here is that you know, you want to be a problem solver, not part of the problem. Okay, now guys, I would say majority of the employee, right, as of today, right, they don't realize it, they are basically a problem. Okay, they are not a problem solver. Problem solver is very rare. It's only about 10%. And those 10% guys are the one that paid big bucks, I guess, right? And you want to be a problem solver because most people only know how to complain. So when you don't complain, it's very rare. And suddenly you become very unique to your boss. Okay, and here's the best part. If you are a problem solver for the company, your boss will never want to let you go. Okay, and you know, I was paid 300% higher than my current salary at Stanchart because, you know, during my interview, they begin to realize I can solve problems. I don't give excuses. If I have a problem, I figure out how to get things done. Right, and of course, after dapat promote, dah masuk ke unit tu, I got promoted from a specialist to become a manager in just a year. So again, it's because I demonstrated that I can solve problems. I don't complain. Okay, and I can tell you the honest truth here is that anyone can paint out a problem, very few can give solutions. So if you are a problem solver, you are a rare breed. Rare breed get paid a lot of money. Okay, so if I were to summarize my journey, right, from you know, 600 ringgit punya gaji, you know, all the way to 18,000, I would say it is because of these skill sets and this mentality yang I adopt, right? The first one is that I understand communication well. I was able to communicate well with my bosses, my superiors, stakeholders, you know, investors, and apa semua tu. And for that, right, you know, you get paid above average when you can do that. And the guy who can do it in English versus the guy who can't speak English are normally paid 50 to 100% more. So I can't stress enough, guys, knowing English, being able to communicate well in English is very important, especially today if you could MNC. Okay. Second is the be do have mentality, right? Because a lot of people only dia akan buat kerja extra bila dibayar, right? And you are just part of the 99% of the employee punya club, right? Most employee think that way. Tapi there's just 1% guys whereby dia buat dulu tak tu, and they make sure the boss knows and see, and they are doing all this extra, and you know, and when the time comes, they are normally the one that get the highest bonuses, the best of promotion, the best of titles. Okay. Third one is this idea of continuous improvement. Tak kisah you buat apa, you kerja, you pelabur, doesn't matter what you do, guys. You continue to learn so that you can be paid more. Okay. Number 4 is to build backup of income. Sebab if you have backup of income by investments, etc., you are never desperate. And the best thing about not being desperate ni, lagi you tak desperate, lagi orang nak kat kita. You know, if you go out there, right, guys, and if you go out, for example, like you know, I'm pretty sure lah, you know, you've heard of this, you know, some of the girls cakap, oh my god, this guy keep on harassing me and apa semua tu kan. Aku tak nak lah, right? So macam even for my arwah dad and my mum kan, waktu my arwah dad kerja dia kena reject kau ni, right? And then bila dia stop kerja, tiba-tiba rindu lah, apa semua tu lah kahwin, right? So guys, never be the desperado. And if you only have one income, guys, you are always going to be desperate. Desperate people will never make the best decisions, will never be able to brave enough to speak up their mind, will never be able to do what's the best, right, for their career and for the company. And then last kali, guys, ramai orang yang tahu komplain, tak ramai orang yang boleh solve problem. So you want to be a problem solver, not a complainer. Complainer doesn't get paid much money. Problem solver does. Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my experience and my learning. I don't know whether is it going to be useful to you, but you know, it has helped me a lot, right? So if I were to summarize, you know, and today I make a little bit more than my last salary, right? Running FACAP, and I still feel, right, these 5 things are the most important orang cakap skill set ataupun trait yang I pakai in order to make sure I continue to be paid top dollar, right, in my industry.
All right. So, do you have any last words, Tuan Faizul? Or if there isn't any, we can proceed to the next session. Okay.
We can proceed. Yes. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So, I think that is all the time that we have for the first session. Okay. So, but don't worry. You guys, for those who want to stay with us for the Q&A session and the next session that we're going to have, you guys can join the Zoom meeting link that we pin in the FB Live and the YouTube Live. Okay, so kita pun dah bersiar dekat FB Live dan YouTube, dan nak dekat dah lebih sejam lah. So that is all the time that we have. So for those yang nak tahu lebih lanjut tentang Faizul and apa yang mereka buat di Far Capital, boleh stay in the Zoom. And for you guys in the YouTube Live and the FB Live, you can click the link, the Zoom link, so that we can proceed to the next session, because we are going to close the FB Live and the YouTube Live in about 5 minutes. Okay, so sementara kita tunggu mereka untuk join untuk join Zoom link. Okay, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kerana hadir pada malam ini. So memang banyak input kita boleh dapat daripada perkongsian daripada Tuan Faizul Ridzuan, dan saya harap semua boleh aplikasikan ilmu ini dan kita sharekan sama-sama dekat family dan kawan-kawan kita. So you guys, if you guys have social medias, you guys can share a little bit of information that you guys got from this event. Mungkin korang, you guys can share 3 things that you get from this event, right? And maybe you can tag ULEAD and also Faizul, so that we can sama-sama kita share the knowledge. Alright, so baik. So we wait for about 1 more minute, and then we will close the FB Live and YouTube Live. For UNITEN students, you guys can click the link to the Scoran, and you guys can also submit the questions, submit the answers for the trivia for a chance to win some GrabFood vouchers. So yeah, we wait for another minute and then we will start the next session.
Hey Hazim, if you don't mind, can I speak a little bit?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Hi everyone. If you can hear my voice, can you say yes?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I'm just going to interact first while we're waiting for people to come to the Zoom session. For those who are in RP Live and also YouTube, please join us. I think the team is already sending the link inside there. I am Christina. I am part of the Park Capitals today, representing Faizul, Ridzuan, and as well as Park Capital, helping this team over here launching this event tonight. I want to know. So, what are the key takeaways that you think are very valuable towards the session just now? Before I can start into this next session, will you mind share in the Zoom chat? What do you guys have learned just now that you think is very valuable that you can take away?
Yeah, you guys can
from
share
this
in
session?
the chat session.
Awesome. We do have. So yeah, I am part of the practitioner of the We Do Have as well. So I think it's very, yeah, don't be desperate. Third, property is the key. Correct. So how many of you are excited to when boss cannot bully me? Problem solver. Yay, problem solver. Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna learn something before we waiting, right? Yep, that is true. Arif, financial literacy is very, 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 very crucial. So don't be a complainer. You can complain because that's realistic, but be a solver as well. Jangan kipas bos, betul. Okay, so Aishato is saying about invest. So the next session is that we are going to tell you guys a topic about property bull run, why Faizul thinks that property bull run is coming, and as well as what is our strategy and how to become part of the Park Capital. Are you guys ready for that? Please let me know if you're ready for that. I want some engagement here. Soft skills. Are you guys ready for the next session? Let's go. Okay, so before I start, I would like to do a little bit of housekeeping. So number one is that when the presentation is start, which is we're going to show you a two set of recorded video. Number one is the property bull run, and another one is client interaction sessions. So while I'm running the videos, I am going to stop the chat box first because I need you guys to put as many notes as you can in your book and get as many notes as you can, because we're not going to send these recorded sessions to everyone. So this is going to be like one session only. So please pay very, very attention, because most likely you're going to make much more money than you are right now if you listen carefully and if you understand closely. If you have any questions, you need to put first, jot down your notes, and then after the session is over, you can always come up and I'm going to read, me and also HAZIQ is going to read the questions for you. So far clear? Before I start, if you're clear and ready, please say ready. So Ranju, yay, awesome. That's good, that's good. We still have 158 people here, very committed. That's awesome. Stay a while because it's going to be worth it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start. Thank you, HAZIQ, for making me the chance to host tonight. I will be start playing it now, and I need to check whether you guys can hear the sound. Okay.